Kevin Gordon here from Autosavant.com with your March 30th edition of the Afternoon Commute. Believe it or not, we shot a full afternoon commute yesterday, but we had microphone problems. So I had me with my mouth moving and no sound for 8 or 9 minutes. Actually works out good because today, it's Friday. Figured to end off the week with something that should be a little bit more fun, hopefully, than usual, and that's to go through all of the expected launches that are going to happen at the New York Auto Show. And we'll get moving here as soon as this fine Canadian goose gets out of my way. Before we get to that, I also want to point out that you might notice something new sitting next to me. And that's a new voice recorder that I got. I'm going to be trying out. You'll notice it's not connected to the GoPro, unlike my little Audio Technica lavalier mic that I normally use. So what I'm going to do is record the audio on both of these and see how it sounds. And I will post up a comparison video separately than this one with that as well for those of you who have seen the GoPro external microphone video work that we've done in the past. So on to the New York Auto Show, starting with Acura. Acura is going to be debuting the RLX. It will be their new flagship sedan. It should be powered by a V6, so not all that exciting, right? Well, as I drop my iPhone, one thing you may notice is that Acura is going to a fully three-letter naming convention in all their models. The TL will be the only remaining holdover that's 2 letters, which means it should probably be replaced reasonably soon. The other interesting bits about the RLX are the fact that it will have a hybrid drive system, but the hybrid drive system is only going to power the rear wheels, making the hybrid version all-wheel drive. And the hybrid rear wheel drive system is going to be 2 separate electric motors, which should allow them to continue to do their torque vectoring all-wheel drive, but with electric drive rear motors instead of a mechanical all-wheel drive system connected to the engine. The other interesting bit about the Acura is that it's rumored to come with a dual clutch transmission, which will be a new thing for them and for Honda in general. And so hopefully this is the beginning of some innovation with Toyota Acura. BMW is going to be showing the convertible version of the M6. The coupe premiered at Geneva and was very nice. The convertible, which I'll show you a picture of here, should have the same 560 horsepower engine with 500 foot-pounds of torque, just like the coupe. BMW is also going to be bringing their X1, the smallest of their sports activity vehicles, because BMW doesn't make sports utility vehicles, to the United States for the first time. It's been for sale in Canada for a couple of years now, and you may have actually seen them if anybody's come down from the Great White North to visit. Here's a picture of that. And you can kind of consider that a yuck moment for today, in my opinion. Buick is going to be bringing their refreshed, I believe it's the Enclave, their big 3-row SUV. Chevy's already released the photos of their refreshed Traverse, their 3-row SUV. A picture of that is here. Chevy should also be bringing their new sedan to the New York Auto Show. And contrary to my predictions on Wednesday, more and more it looks like it's going to be the Impala. Okay, it's going to be an Impala. Now, whether or not it's only the Impala or not, it's anybody's guess. But there's already pictures out on the internet of the rear quarter with the Impala logo on it. Whether this will be front or rear drive, we will find out next week. Dodge is going to be bringing the 2013 Viper to the New York Auto Show. A teaser photo has made it up to the internet. I'll show you that in a second. Looks like it's going to look similar to the old Viper. The question is if it's really going to get the rumored 8.7 liter V10. And if it does, expect it to be the absolute end of the monster displacement, naturally aspirated engines that are available in cars, with the exceptions of the super exotics. Dodge will be, Ram, because Dodge doesn't make trucks anymore, Ram does. Ram will be bringing their new 1500 to New York. Whether it's going to be an all-new model or a refresh, I'm actually not sure. It's going to have more chrome and probably be bolder and whatever else Ram trucks are these days. Interesting part there is it may actually have their new 8-speed transmission. At least it's definitely going to have their new Pentastar V6 as the base engine option. So much like Ford with their 3.7, Dodge is going to be able to sell, Ram is going to be able to sell trucks, hopefully more of them with a V6, and potentially throughout their model line with an 8-speed transmission. So it should be interesting to see what happens from an economy perspective if that is the case. Ford will have their new Explorer Sport at the show, which has also already been released. A picture of that is here. The Explorer Sport, in case you didn't catch it, it's going to have the EcoBoost 3.5 liter twin turbo V6 in the guise of making 350 horsepower. And of course it's got bigger wheels and sportier bits and whatever else. It actually looks like a nice option if you've got to buy a 3-row SUV. That's the only thing Ford's leaked so far, which is interesting. It should be surprising if they only come with one debut at the auto show. So expect to see something else. What that is, who knows? Honda, this year at the New York Auto Show, is going to be bringing something really exciting. It's nice to see Honda coming out with, Honda's actually going to be bringing a revised version of the Crosstour. You know, the Accord bubble-backed wagon? Yeah, that's it. Way to go, Honda. Hopefully you've got some tricks up your sleeve for the show, but I'm not too hopeful. Hyundai's going to be bringing their new Santa Fe, their midsize SUV. It's out in sketches with a couple angle shots of some panels. Here's a picture of a sketch. If they manage to get it to look anything like the sketch, I think they'll be in good shape. It looks like Hyundai's just going to keep lining them up and knocking them down. I'm sure when the Santa Fe comes out, it'll be best in class in more categories than you can shake your stick at. Lexus is going to be showing their updated ES, most likely the ES 350 sedan. Expect it to look more like the GS front end, of course, but more like a Camry underneath. Mercedes-Benz always seems to make a pretty big deal out of the New York Auto Show. It's sort of their premier spot for showing models that are going to debut either in the US or in the world. And if memory serves, they didn't actually attend the LA Auto Show this year, which everybody was a bit surprised by. Or maybe they attended LA and not Detroit. I forget and apologize for that. But anyway, so what is Mercedes bringing to New York? Well, first, they're going to be bringing their revised GLK, their smallest SUV. Not all exciting. A picture of that is here. The only exciting part potentially about the GLK is the fact that it's going to come with a diesel engine option. And that should be a little 2.4 or 2.1 liter inline 4 that, makes 200 horsepower or something and a whole pile of torque. So that is actually interesting to see the US getting some extra diesel engine option choices. They'll also be bringing a new version of their big SUV, the GL, which no pictures have leaked out of so far, at least that I know of. And let's see, what else? Mercedes. They're going to be bringing their CLC four-door coupe, which is going to be obviously smaller than the CLS, but I think it's expected to be bigger than the two-door C-Class. So now Mercedes is going to have a full line of these four-door coupes, and it seems like now the four-door coupe is going to trickle down, much like the Volkswagen CC did, into the smaller and smaller car classes. Finally, Mercedes is going to be bringing the SL65, the V12 version of the SL that we wrote an article about last week. Mitsubishi is still trying to make it, and they're going to be bringing their new Outlander Sport to New York. A picture of that is here. Nissan's going to be showing their all-new Altima in New York. There's a bunch of teaser shots out for it, but I'm not going to show you any of those, and here's why. When the teaser shots for the Pathfinder came out, I have to admit I was excited about them. I actually thought it looked really good and had the chance to be nice looking in real life. Well, as it turned out, it wasn't, at least in my opinion, good looking in any real way, shape, or form in real life. So we'll wait to see what the new Altima looks like in metal. It's an important car for Nissan. It's their best-selling model, so hopefully they get it right and do some interesting things there to continue to compete in this more and more and more competitive mid-size segment. Shelby Motor Cars will be showing the Shelby 1000, which is a 950 horsepower on pump gas Mustang. It's also a $149,000 addition to the cost of a Mustang. You've got to bring them a Mustang and give them an extra 150, and they'll turn it into a, what's really with some kind of super high octane gas, 1,000 horsepower car. But that's not all. For your $149,900, you also get a car that levitates, as shown by this picture. Okay, so you may know about this already. It doesn't levitate. It's a really bad Photoshop job that the PR people at Shelby did, and were immediately caught. I mean, it is a poorly done Photoshop to try to pull that off. Next up for the show is Subaru. Subaru is going to be showing a refreshed version of their Legacy and Outback. A picture of the Legacy's here. They're also going to be showing the VX Crosstrek, which I poked fun at earlier this week. Toyota is going to be showing their new Avalon at the show. It's again got a bunch of teaser pictures out, and some camouflaged prototype pictures have leaked out. Expected to be much more four-door coupey than the current Avalon, and we'll see if they can pull the median age of buyers down from their full AARP status currently. And Toyota's also bringing an updated version of the Venza, their four-door wagon crossover thing as well. I think that's just going to be a refreshed model, though, not an all-new one. And that's it. That's what, so far, we can expect at the New York Auto Show next week. We'll be there covering it for you. Make sure you follow at least me on Twitter and Instagram at AutoSavantKG. I believe is my address for both of those, and I will, I'm sure, be over tweeting and over Instagramming the days that we're there. We also have some nice time set up with the manufacturers directly to go through some of the newer infotainment systems out there. And that's it. I'm Kevin Gordon from AutoSavant.com, and I look forward to talking to you guys tomorrow.